fucking countdown. There it is.
Oh, there it is.
It's the countdown to apocalypse.
Usually it's like early. You know what I mean? Like it comes early. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A little premature ejaculation.
Yeah, that's where I was going at. But I just literally say it. But hey, we're here, Brothers of Discussion podcast, back again for another episode. Check out the little scroller, John, on the bottom. We're getting to bro you with our brother from another, Mike Peyton. Mike, welcome to the show.
Can't wait. This is going to be fun as hell.
Awesome, man. Before we even get started, tell us where people can where they can find you. You can plug your socials, anything you got going on. Go ahead, take a couple minutes to do your thing.
YouTube is Mike Peyton, obviously. At Real Mike Peyton is where you can find me on Instagram, and of course, Mike Peyton on Facebook.
Awesome. It's pretty fucking straightforward and easy.
Love it.
I'm a straightforward man.
Yeah. First thing I want to get started with was we had just started doing our podcast, and you and I communicated a little bit right before you started the Fight for the Heart charity show, which was phenomenal.
That was awesome,
it was a great show.
It was an excellent show.
It was a nice opportunity for us to kind of get our names out there, and I just wanted to thank you for that and show some appreciation. Also, you raised some money for the American Heart Association. What was the inspiration behind you doing that show?
So, growing up, I've always had a heart condition myself. I actually just went to the heart doctor today, and I'm pretty much fine. I'm just a normal person who has to watch my heart more than others. But then my grandfather died in 2018 of heart issues. My fiance's dad died of heart issues. My brother's dad, because we all have different dads, died of heart issues. So I'm like, you know what? There's this big foundation out there who works with these kinds of things. Why not put on a show? Why not put my best friends out there on a show for something that I'm so close to?
And it's admirable and we had a great time too. We went and we sold some shirts. We raffled off the signed copy of Gary Wolf's book, and helped raise some money and donated it all towards the cause. We really were like, oh, this is a great idea.
Yeah. So
once again, thank you for having us there. Now you have a moniker. It's the mind behind the revolution. So can you explain it to people who are watching that may not know what this means?
The mind behind the revolution is growing up, I've always looked at professional wrestling, and there's a lot of guys who don't get the spotlight, and it's taken from them from certain guys that I will not mention because I will start a fight probably. But so the revolution is I'm taking these guys that deserve the spotlight and giving them the spotlight. Some guys took that spotlight and burned it to the ground. Some guys, like who I'm with now, Richie Morales, took that spotlight and is now shining. So the mind behind the revolution is I'm the mind that's giving you all these talents that you don't get to see because other guys are stealing the spotlight.
Cool. Understood. I'm going to take it way back in the time. When growing up, what was like your earliest wrestling memory? What kind of got you into this crazy business of professional wrestling?
So I was about maybe 5 or 6, and I'm coming down the steps. And my brother had all these DVDs, all these VHS tapes. I looked to the ground and I saw this one called Halloween Havoc. I'm like, I like Halloween. I like to call some havoc myself. Why not watch this? Put it in, and first couple of matches, like, this isn't really my thing. Then I saw Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio.
So,
and
I think.
Yeah, it was like 97, 96, one of the two.
Yeah.
And I saw it, and I'm like, I like this Eddie Guerrero. He's cocky, he's arrogant, but he gets it done. And so from there on, I'm like, I can get into this. And then it kind of just steamrolled over from there. And then, of course, I got my first tattoo, which was a Eddie Guerrero tattoo.
Word. That's cool.
Nice.
So that's kind of where the inspiration came from. And, of course, had the pleasure of doing a little Eddie Guerrero type of ending in my match with Eugene Chandler back in February.
Cool.
Nice.
That's awesome. So what's your favorite Eddie match then? If you have a Eddie match you can go back and watch, which one is it?
Eddie versus Ray, pretty much from Halloween
that's
Havoc.
cool.
That is, yeah. Another match would probably be Eddie versus Brock at No Way Out 2004.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's another fantastic match.
Awesome.
Which is why I shed a tear when Brock Lesnar retired.
Yeah.
So we have met actually some of your family, and we know that they're in the business as well. So how far back does that go with your family? How long has your family been working with wrestling?
So when I first joined Battlefield, God, that was long ago. I kind of pushed my family into that because they love to help people. And I'm like, my mom's good with money. My dad can kick the crap out of some people. Why not be a security guard and why don't you handle concessions? So I kind of got them into it and now they're stuck there. So you're welcome. That's my fault.
Well, it's a pleasure to see them every time we see them. They're incredible people. I actually made sure that we got them some shirts before we left the Fight for the Heart. I was like, I got to give them. They're great.
Yep. So yeah, I guess where I'm gonna go to is like being in the art of wrestling. Like how much training is it? Like how much do you dedicate training? How much is it to get into that ring the first time? Like,
so when I first started, I was training once a week because we didn't know how my heart could handle it. And then once my heart kind of got going, it was about twice a week. And now there's not really any training schools near me.
okay.
So I kind of like, instead of training, I kind of watch old tapes that I've never seen before, have seen before, write it down, learn from this, practice it, ask my fiance, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And then, kind of do it from there because there's, make the best of my opportunities of what I can learn.
Okay.
I've seen you cut some promos lately. Couple of scathing promos. You're a little unhappy with a certain organization. I see. Also, you have a show coming up.
Yes, this Saturday.
This Saturday. So tell us about this show. Plug your shit, man.
So this Saturday, if you don't come out, you probably suck. But this Saturday in Mayfield, Pennsylvania, at the Falcons Nest, High Ground Pro Wrestling presents May Wrestling Be With You. Of course, Star Wars. I don't like Star Wars. If you like Star Wars, you're a nerd. Apologies, not really. But what I'm doing at this show, I'm on the hunt for a certain pinata because the Maniacal Glee is out here prancing around. I don't know if anybody's seen this. If you want to look it up, I bless your heart. Making a mockery of this business, dancing around, laughing, having a good time. And this isn't about a good time. This is about making money. And he has this stupid pinata called Bruce, who he thinks is an actual human being. It annoys me. And I will not leave that building on Saturday until that pinata is ripped to shreds. Because once I get rid of this pinata, I get rid of Glee, I get rid of the joke. And that's pretty much where I'm at right now. So if you want to see a pinata die, come out.
I think everybody wants to know, what do you think's inside the pinata?
Probably Maniacal Glee stickers like the one I burned. Probably candy that's probably rotted by now. Maybe. We're gonna find out on Saturday when I rip it apart. And that's not a promise. That's not even a spoiler. That's just a guarantee. That's just looking into the future. That's all it is.
Okay.
So he asked you about training a little bit. And you said you were watching some old stuff to kind of learn. What kind of old stuff have you been watching and what have you been kind of picking up?
So as a manager, I've been watching a lot of the Grand Wizard lately.
Okay.
And a lot of Paul Ellering.
Okay.
He slept on. I like Paul Ellering.
That's kind of where my gimmick is kind of based off of, is Paul Ellering. Wrestling wise, because now that I know how my heart is, looking to get back in the ring a lot more often. Right now, wrestling wise, because I'm no 105-pound high flyer. So right now, for current day wrestlers, I'm studying a lot of Gunther. I love Gunther. I love the way he works.
The best heel. Listen.
And I am very, very much watching a lot. This might surprise some people, actually. I'm watching a lot of Kurt Hawkins.
Okay. No, it's not surprising. The guy's fucking phenomenal. It's just
He's a phenomenal worker, especially when he was with the Edgeheads. It was
just because they had him lose a million matches in a row doesn't. The guy's not good. Like he's actually really fucking.
His runs have been better everywhere other than WWE. In my opinion.
amazing.
For sure. So you have this next show coming up Saturday. Do you have anything else coming up in the works, or what do you have coming up lined up?
In the works right now. I don't know if I can, I might spoil this a little bit. In the works right now, there has been a match that I've been begging for. And we are looking to get it done sometime in July, maybe. And that is a street fight with Soba.
All right. Let's fucking get it.
Which I have been begging for since Fight for the Heart.
All right. We need the payoff, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
exactly. So maybe watch my socials. Maybe there'll be an announcement, as July is coming up pretty quickly.
It is coming up very quickly.
Yes, it is.
So let's do a couple of fun ones. There's a question that we always ask on every interview because it's just a fucking fun question. So if you could choose a fantasy booking of one deceased versus one active wrestler, what would your match be?
Ooh, this is a good question.
I think I know.
And this can be from anywhere in the world, right? Anywhere in the world.
And it could even be somebody you know personally. It doesn't matter. It's your opinion.
Yep.
One deceased versus one active.
I am going to give him a lot of praise, and he might, even though kind of hate each other right now. Lucius Crowe versus Bray Wyatt would be a very, very interesting match.
All right.
Because Crowe takes a lot of inspiration from Bray, obviously. He has his sister Abigail. So that is a match I'd love to see. Now, on the premise of people that most people would know, definitely Eddie Guerrero versus Dominic Mysterio would definitely be a match I would have loved to see.
That's a reoccurring theme.
How many times?
Might be the third time somebody's brought that one up.
Wow.
No,
it would be a fantastic match. I mean, you can't deny it. Dominic has improved so much, so I think it would be really good.
It would have been a phenomenal classic.
Yeah.
So another fun question. I mean, we did an episode on it. We're gonna do your Mount Rushmore of all time wrestlers, like that. I just gotta see.
I had a feeling this question was going to get asked. So
yeah, let's get it.
Eddie Guerrero, obviously, if I'm being biased.
Okay.
I'm going to do two. I'm going to do a biased and an unbiased. So biased would be Eddie Guerrero, Bray Wyatt. Kelly was probably my first favorite women's wrestler. And Bobby Heenan would be my biased Mount. My unbiased, John Cena would obviously be up there.
Mm-hmm.
The Undertaker would be up there.
All right.
Trish Stratus would be up there. Pioneer for women's wrestling. And Stone Cold would be up there.
Okay.
Should be in everybody's Mount Rushmore.
It should be. If he's not in your Mount Rushmore, you're a stupid piece of trash.
Yeah.
Exactly. I've heard a lot of those lately.
We can talk some current stuff. You're wearing the shirt, the ruler.
Love me some MOBA.
Yeah. Let's talk about WrestleMania. How do you think he was showcased against Brock? And do you think that they did him right? And do you think they did Brock right?
They did phenomenal with Oba. I personally, a squash is a squash, but I wouldn't really consider that a squash. That was more of a showcase. but how they handled Brock was magnificent. If there was anybody to pass the torch to, definitely Oba. As much as I love Gunther, don't want to see him retire any more superstars. But I feel like WrestleMania was a decent show. I think there was a lot of problems I had, but my major problem was Orton didn't win, which he should have.
He should never win.
No, I
He should
agree.
never
I
win.
agree with that. I agree with that.
So
He does.
just putting it out there. I despise Randy Orton.
Yeah.
It's just
Me too.
my personal opinion. I really just don't like him. I'm sure he's fine, but I just don't like his.
I'm not sure he's fine.
I don't like his
Yeah, I don't think he talks to voices. I don't think he's fine.
Exactly. So, our kind of take on WrestleMania is, at one point fans were clamoring for 2 nights. They want 2 nights of wrestling. I think it's too much. What's your take?
It depends on if you get the amount of commercials that we got, 1 night. If you get more wrestling, more people on the show, 2 nights is definitely the way to go, because I don't think anybody wants to see all of that in 1 night. By the time it'd be like 2:00, which WrestleMania 35 had that problem. I believe it was 35.
Yep, I was there. Yep,
Yeah, that definitely had that problem. But I mean, I always say wrestling, you could say it's the greatest. You could say WWE is the greatest and AEW sucks. I could say AEW is amazing. WWE sucks. It's all opinions. There's a lot of taste for it. If you like staying up till 1:00 in the morning watching all your favorite superstars, go to AEW. I love AEW right now. If you love your storytelling, your oh my god moments here and there, WWE is definitely the way to go. But I watch everything as much as I can.
Yeah, I'm the same, bro.
Your assessment right there is exactly how I feel about professional wrestling. If you want the storytelling, long-term drama, it's WWE. But if you're for like pure wrestling, it's AEW. Their shows are better wrestling shows. Not saying that WWE entertainment-wise is a better entertainment-wise show.
Yeah.
Speaking of AEW, just going to throw it out there. We're going to be at Double or Nothing.
In attendance.
We're going to do some very, very cool stuff.
Well, that's funny because I'm going to be in AEW when it comes to Philly in May.
Oh, we're
nice.
Yeah, see, I was going to go to that too, but
that's the day after. Actually,
it is.
I believe it is.
It is.
Yeah.
That Monday, I think, right? Yeah.
So there's another thing that we do here on the show. We always ask someone we're interviewing to ask a question for the next person that we interview. So the last person that we've interviewed, actually, it would have been a couple other people, but 2 of them fucking just no call, no showed. So fuck Tantalizing Tony and fuck Peter Sisko.
Yeah.
By the way,
Fuck 'em.
just fuck them both. So our last interview is Professor Bear, who's a wrestling podcaster out of Tennessee.
Yep.
Great guy. And his question for our next guest, who he has no idea who our next guest is, was, what have you done to make the business better?
Well, I think I answered that question at the start when I said I was giving all the great talent out there the spotlight. So I think I've helped a lot by giving people actual talent, not the maniacal glee. Guys like Richie Morales, guys before who I don't know what they're doing now, Harlan Calix. I've managed Elijah St. James. He's an incredible talent that you guys should check out.
Mm-hmm.
I managed a lot of guys who deserve the spotlight. Richie Morales is now my main priority. So I think what I've done for this business is showcase the actual talent.
So in the business, you've wrestled, you've managed, you've promoted a show. Are there any other things that you've done or want to do, or what's your kind of favorite thing to do so far?
My favorite thing to do is bouncing back and forth from manager to wrestler. It's pretty fun because, you show up to a show, you're like, oh, this guy's a manager, this guy's a weasel. But then you watch me get in the ring and you're like, oh, he's one of those, he's a manager who, when he wants to get his hands dirty, he gets his hands dirty. But my goal when I started was I want to do 1 everything at least once. So wrestle, promote a show, manage. I've reffed a match before.
Cool.
Right now, my goal, this might be a challenge to someone. This might be someone who might answer the call. Right now, kind of leaning towards wanting to do a death match.
Word.
Get that out of my system. Scares the hell out of my family, but I want to do everything at least once, and that's one thing I got to do.
Do you have an opponent in mind that you might want to take that aggression out on?
There's a lot of guys I would love to challenge, but one person in particular, probably Charlie Bonifer, who's been itching to get back in the ring. So if I'm probably going to screen record this and send it to him, but
Definitely.
that's
Good.
a
Charlie,
challenge there, brother.
Well,
That's a challenge.
Charlie, don't be a bitch. Get in a fucking death match
on,
already.
let's go.
Stop being a bitch. So to add on to what I had asked earlier, do you have a question that you could ask for us to give to our next interview?
This will be interesting because, again, I don't know who your next guest is. You already
That's the beauty
said
of
that.
it.
I want to hear the next person's top 5 managers of all time would be the question.
Okay.
Because not that many people ask what the top 5 managers are or the Mount Rushmore of managers. So that would probably be the question.
Beautiful. I have it written down because we did one time get a little too drunk while we were doing the show and I forgot the question.
Yeah.
And I felt disappointed in myself. So I won't ever do that again.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. Don't want to.
Don't want to.
So when obviously you said you were looking at the Grand Wizard and Paul Ellering recently, and you're a big fan of the Halloween Havoc match with Eddie and Ray. If you're just sitting at home, this is the Aaron question. I'm stealing it from him.
I love it.
If you're just sitting at home and you just want to watch some wrestling, what are you throwing on?
I'm usually throwing on a compilation of something. So, like, literally yesterday, before I went to sleep, I threw on a random compilation of the best insults, picking up some pointers. But I usually just throw on anything and everything I can. When I'm sick, it's all I watch. So, like, the last time I was sick, which was not that long ago, I was just really big in watching old Kane stuff for some reason. It's just basically what I'm in the mood for on that specific day and time. So it all depends.
It's fair. And I wanted to bring up, it's funny because you said that you were really big into Eddie Guerrero because he was cocky and like could back it up. So I'm a little older than you are. And my guy was Mr. Perfect. He was my all-time favorite wrestler. And it is the exact same kind of route. He's cocky, backed it up. He was phenomenal in ring. So I that's funny. We have that little bit of a very similar taste.
I'm a Mr. Perfect fan myself, quietly.
I think every generation kind of has that one guy, like a Mr. Perfect and Eddie Guerrero. Is that turning out to be Dom?
I would,
You know,
yes.
For the
Yeah.
younger.
We're in 2026.
Yeah.
I mean, we're halfway through
Yes.
this decade, and I feel like he's
and before
progressed
after
Listen,
right?
I
In
never
between-
never thought about him like that.
in
but
between
yes.
Eddie and Dom. In between Eddie and Dom, it's probably Miz.
Yeah.
That's a good. Okay, that's a good call.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's a so that lineup of Mr. Perfect,
Eddie
Eddie
Guerrero.
Guerrero, Miz, and Dominic Mysterio. Not
And if you're an
bad.
AEW fan, MJF is your way to go.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
It's definitely MJF if
Yeah.
you're an AEW fan, and that fucking guy's phenomenal.
He's a super.
He is. Yeah, he's good.
We actually have recently spoke that he is actually so good in the ring, but he's so phenomenal on the mic that people don't realize how good he is in the ring because of how great he is on the mic.
Yeah.
It takes away from it. It's weird.
Yeah. So who's your best high flyer of all time?
Besides Eddie, obviously, I was after I watched Eddie Guerrero and I watched some other stuff, I got really into Psychosis.
Okay.
Is what I
Yeah.
really got into.
I will. Very good.
So
Very good high flyer.
So you picked up a Halloween Havoc DVD or cassette or whatever from a brother. Was he really into WCW? Is that, and then that's kind of what got you into wrestling was WCW?
He basically had this entire DVD collection, and I have one myself, but his was enormous. Like he had everything, like from A to Z, basically.
So he watched WCW and WWF.
Yes, he basically he when he was growing up, it was basically anything and everything. My other brother's dad, who passed away from heart failure, I believe, heart attack or heart failure, one of the two. What they would do is they had the old Titantron ring or little stage where you'd slide the guy out and it would play their music. So they would do Royal Rumbles, and my brothers would be playing with them, and then Jason, which was my brother's dad, would shuffle the figures behind his back and then bring them out, and then they would continue to play, which is what me and my brothers would then do. He's gonna love that I'm telling the story. We would always make our own storylines. And he came up with this terrific tag team with the figures. And I will never forget this. It was an old Big E figure. So like 2013, 14 Big E and a Mark Henry. And he put them in a tag team. And it was probably the greatest tag team we've ever came up with.
They would.
Whenever I look at Mark Henry or Big E, I'm like, you belong with that guy.
I'm having flashbacks because I remember creating a tag team with my figures that nobody will ever guess what this team was. But it was Jake the Snake Roberts and the Warlord. For some reason, I thought that team was fucking
sounds amazing.
I don't know why, but it was the Warlord with the fucking half silver thing on his face. Yeah, weird version of it.
So you brought up managers a lot, and I'm a big manager guy too. I feel like it's missing in the business today. Do you think there's room for it?
By far.
There is definitely room for me. So AEW, WWE, if you're hiring, hi. You don't have that many managers. But yeah, it is definitely missing in this business because there's a lot of guys out there, and I don't want to name names, who can't cut a promo for shit. And you could use a manager in that instance because that's your talker. That's your help for promos. And then when you get good at promos, you can break off. And then he can go into someone else who doesn't. And it's also good for during matches. If this guy and this guy forget a spot, the manager's right there to go, hey, do this. You got to do that. Or I always tell the guy, whoever I'm managing, I go, if you are lost out there, and I can tell through eyes. I'm good at that. I get it from my father. I can look at you and go, I see you're lost. If you see me, bring the guy over here, distract the ref, and I'll handle it until you figure out what you're doing. Because that's what I'm there for. I'm there to help you in storyline wise and in actual wise. Because if you're lost, you have me to go collect yourself. Or if you're out of breath, you have me to collect yourself. So managers are very, very useful in this business.
Definitely, and they're pushing Paul Heyman
and Don Callis.
You know what I mean? Like it's just, and I just remember like in the 80s, especially the 80s and early 90s, like it was all managers.
Everybody
like,
had a manager,
but
everybody had it.
You know what? You look forward to that. You know, like the Mr. Fuji's and you know, I mean, it could be.
Yeah.
But you know, throwing dust in people's faces and stuff, like that's what I miss. Like even to the
it's
that's what wrestling needs. It needs
back then. Bobby Heenan's Heenan family. It was he managed anybody and everybody, and even if they had no affiliation, like he managed Andre the Giant and he managed Andre the Giant in the main event. But the first match, he's out there managing Haku. It's like, but you've never seen them work together before ever, and it's like, all right, Heenan's got a Heenan family, but they don't really connect. It's like they're like me to my mom's friend's daughter, basically. It's because she told me the other day, you're like a cousin to me. And I'm like, I have no affiliation with you. We don't talk ever, but sure.
That's the Don Callis family right now. He manages
people. And
they're just all over the place. So earlier you brought up on your Mount Rushmore, your favorites, you brought up 2 female wrestlers, which we are very strong supporters of women's wrestling. We feel that over the last few years, most of the best matches in wrestling have been women's wrestling matches. So you brought up Kelly and Trish Stratus. Both, I would say Trish Stratus, yes, if we're talking about wrestlers.
Oh yeah, in-ring.
So
she's really
other than Kelly being a gorgeous woman, what drew you to her as a wrestler?
What 2 things are you drawn to of her?
She was just, it was different in that time, you know. She was just like different, you know what I mean? Like she was like AJ Lee before AJ Lee, if that makes any sense at all. is how I look at it. She was more of the, hey kids, like she was more catered towards the young girls, you know what I mean? And not a lot of people were that. They were all about the, like, you know, the sexiness and all that. And Kelly was more like, I'm here to represent the girls out there that want to grow up in this business. And I'm like, you're different. I like you.
Nice.
And I told her that when I met her at PPW one time.
That's cool. Yeah, like it was a weird time in like women's wrestling at that time. It was divas, right? It was a diva era.
Yeah.
So she was a little different as far as she was a real life.
Back then, it was considered the piss break matches of the night. Unfortunately.
Yeah. So currently, though, who are some of your favorite female wrestlers?
Yeah, let's talk fucking current female wrestling. I love that shit.
Current female,
Give me 3 AEW and 3 WWE female wrestlers that you enjoy to watch. And AEW includes Ring of Honor. WWE includes NXT as well.
Deonna Purrazzo is definitely up there. I actually grew up watching her when she first started in WXWC4. I've loved her work. Honorable mention, even though she's not really around anymore, Britt Baker. Love Britt Baker. I tried to push my mom to get me to see her as a dentist, but that's just too far a drive for a dentist. So that kind of didn't work out. Tekla. I'm a big fan of Tekla right now.
She came out of nowhere too.
Yeah. Another one in AEW would probably be, I'm a fan of Willow Nightingale.
There you go.
We all love some Willow.
Love some Willow Nightingale. WWE, honorable mention, even because she just debuted. I am now a fan of Lizzie Rain. I loved her. Her finisher was amazing from last night. Right now for WWE women's wrestling would probably be Michin. I love Michin, Mia Yim.
Okay.
Could probably throw Jada Parker in there. I love Jada Parker.
I love Jada Parker too. I think she's a great future.
And Sol Ruka. I'm a massive fan of Sol Ruka.
Sol Ruka is extremely athletic and talented. Sky's the limit for her. She's
the Soul Snatcher is one of my top 5 favorite finishers right now. I love the Soul Snatcher.
Yeah.
And a great name. And again, a great name for a fucking great finish. So speaking of finishes, what's your finish?
Oh, my finish is so I could consider one of them a finish, but not really. It's Lehigh Laceration, which is basically a running knee, because I used to love Daniel Bryan's running knee.
Yep.
And a full Nelson Slam, which my brother used to do to me all the time. Haven't really stuck with a name yet, but I'm thinking about 49 up, 18 down, which was my grandfather's birth year and his death year, which is what I'm kind of leaning towards.
Can I give you a name for it? It's Peyton to Pavement.
You know what? You just gave me a name from. You know what? You just gave me a name for my other move, which is. I did it to Lucius Crow. It's another move my brother did to me a lot, and it's a fun ass move when I used to take it when I was younger. So it's basically like you're in a double arm DDT position, but I flip you onto your back, and it's just very unique, something you don't see anymore. I don't know where my brother came up with it, but I stole it and I'm using it now, and I'm probably gonna call it that now.
Do it, please do.
Oh.
And then every now and then, just be like, "Hey, Brothers Discussion Podcast, Paying to Pavement." Here's
Yeah.
Trump.
That's yep. I'm actually gonna write that down now.
Oh,
That
yeah,
is- you know what? I'm making it official now. That is now the name of that move that I hit Lucius Crow with.
Yo, just
I
name
will
the
be
move.
making a post when we are done here.
I'm loving it.
Name the move.
I'm loving it.
So who do you have a little bit of ambition to work with in the local circuit, or people you kind of want to mix it up with in the ring?
Now, this is a question I have wanted because I've answered it a lot. There is a lot of guys, so there's going to be a lot of names. Number 1, Mike Orlando. For the love of God, someone send me to Florida so I can work with him. He is my brother. He basically brought me up in this business. He helped me when I was down. He helped me when I was up. So somebody, for the love of God, send me to Orlando so I can work with Mike Orlando. I was at his wedding. I was an amazing, incredible guy, along with, you know what? If she's up for it, Allie Rex, I would love to work you too. But around here, one-on-one with Soba is someone I want to work with. If I could bring him out of, there's 2 people I want to bring out of retirement for a match. Mike Valentino, who is the very first person to guide me in this business, literally right before Mike Orlando. A lot of Mikes. Where do you think I get the name Mike Peyton from? So definitely Mike Valentino. I was messaging him a couple weeks ago. I said, "Hey, I'm going to bring you out of retirement one of these days." And another one is Tommy Swade, who was my first trainer. I would definitely bring him out of retirement if I could. Alpha Jr. I would want to work with Alpha Jr. for God's sake. Even though I'm not working with Battlefield anymore, even though I kind of want to, so I'm gonna start kind of maybe creeping up in there as they're going to Mountainville, where I grew up. I would love to work RJ Carnage. I would absolutely love that. He landed on me once in a practice match, so I owe some payback to him.
I got a receipt. Go.
Another one I'm pushing for is Chris Cage.
I've seen you. There was a lot of social media stuff where you were calling out Chris Cage.
I want to work with. I want to see. I'm calling out all these guys who are levels above me, veterans of this business. And people are like, they're not going to wrestle you. You're a rookie. What's it hurt for a rookie to go up against a veteran to prove himself? So I want one of these matches so I can do it, bust my ass in the match and go, told you I can hang with the best of them. So like Siler Andrews, love to work Siler Andrews. Sam Adams, would love to work Sam Adams. But see, I name all these people and then I'm told they're veterans of this business. You'll never work with them. And I'm like, okay, if you don't think I can hang with them, put me in the ring with one of them. I'll show you. I faced Lucius Crow, who is on a 4-year winning streak, I think. And not to toot my own horn, I had one of the best matches of my life. I got a lot of compliments, even from Jack Molson himself. He was like, damn, that was a good match. And I'm like, I know, because I can go with the best of them. But nobody's willing to give me a shot. So that is why I want to get in the ring more, get myself out there more in the ring, and go, hey, you can see what I do. Put me up against one of these veterans, and I'll show you what I can do.
For
so
sure.
There's a lot of guys I would love to work with. Those are probably the most notable.
Good list, man.
It is a good list.
Look at
There's
that.
a lot
Everybody
of
out
really,
there, you
really
hear that.
talented guys.
Yep.
So do you have in your aspiration here, because like I said, it was a very, very good show. Phenomenal. Do you plan on making it an annual thing, the Fight for the Heart?
I would love to do it again, but it was a very, very big headache to get that done. There was a lot of cancellations. A lot of people didn't make it last minute. The promoting was hard. There was somebody out there taking down our posters for
Mhm.
some reason. Don't know who it was.
Fuck.
I have an idea, but I'm not gonna throw it out there. So
Gotta
if
promote
you
posters for
and you might know who you are. So
bro.
if you think it was you, it probably was you. Fuck you.
Yeah. Double fuck you.
Oh, yeah. Quadruple
So
fucking.
I maybe I'll bring it back one day if I get enough backing for it, because a
Yeah.
lot of that stuff was basically donated, which a lot of people didn't want to do.
Yeah.
But if I get the chance, hell yeah, I would definitely do it again.
Well, I'll tell you right now that if you plan on doing it again, we will try to help in any
Yeah,
way we
for sure.
can make it
100%.
happen.
100%.
Especially because it's for charity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for a great cause. I got a few people, a few connections that we might be able to make something, get some people there that are unexpected.
Yeah.
We might be able to make something happen.
Yeah, it's just very hard to do because not many people want to donate a ring and a building and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was besides the headaches, it was a very fun night. I didn't get to talk with you guys at that show or really mingle because I was everywhere.
I was salty that day though, to be honest with you. I was like, this fucking guy. And then we spoke afterwards, social media wise, and I was like, okay, no, I get
Yeah,
it.
no, it was just I was everywhere that day. Obviously, it was my first time promoting a show, so it was a headache. We didn't get the music there till like an hour or so before the show. A lot of things, and even though I kind of talked a lot of shit about them, we're gonna go behind the curtains here a little bit, even though that's what everybody's doing. Soba really helped out with that show, so applauding to a lot of applause to Soba and a lot of an applause to pretty much everybody that made that happen. AJ, who gave us the building, Jim, who gave us the promoter's license, Afa, who gave us the ring, Code Red, who provided the music, you guys for getting it out there.
Yeah, it was a good...
My mom and dad for making the connections because I wasn't really talkative at the time. Because again, wasn't getting booked anywhere. Nobody was really booking me, so I was like, ugh, wasn't really talking to anybody. But yeah, big thanks to a lot of the guys, mostly the ones I just named, because they wouldn't have made that possible. Soba really helped out with the booking stuff when I didn't know what to do when these guys would cancel. I was sitting there going, what the fuck do I do here? I'd turn to Soba, what the fuck do I do? He'd go, try this. I'm like, oh, well, great. That makes this a lot easier. I don't know why the fuck I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of the guys couldn't show up. I guess since the show's a while ago, the original plan for the surprise entrant in the Battle Royal was supposed to be Bryce Reedus, who wasn't down in that area for a while.
Yeah.
But unfortunately he couldn't make it, so we threw Trey Heat in there. Amazing talent. I'd love to work Trey Heat too.
Trey Heat's he was.
There's gonna be a lot of guys on here that I haven't named yet.
Even
though he's a lot bigger than me, Code Red would be
Battlefield on Saturday. Trey Heat was actually out there as the manager for a match, and he got involved. He's a big guy, man. That's a big dude that can do some stuff. He can do some.
I love. Even though I don't work there anymore, before anybody thinks there's any hard or heat anywhere, there's not. It was just creative ideas kind of got fucked up and stuff wasn't going well at the time for me. So, and my anxiety wouldn't let me do anything. So, but I would definitely love to come back to Battlefield. Love to work with a lot of these guys. I'm a different Mike Peyton than when I was when I first started, when I was a chicken shit. I'm not that kind of guy anymore. I get my hands dirty when I have to. But I would love to join the office. I keep an eye on Battlefield, see who's coming in, who's going out. Dan Moff is another one I would love to work with. A full circle moment for me would be working with Lance.
Yeah.
Because if anybody goes back and watches any old WXWC4 tapes, you will see me in the crowd heckling the shit out of Lance. Because I was, as a kid, loving the heels. So I would ragdoll on basically all the Samoans. Alpha, I apologize. You've now changed your ways. You're now part of the dark side. So apologies in advance. Lance, you're not there. Fuck you. I'm kidding.
I appreciate the insight on the booking, like on the promoting a show, because a lot of people don't realize the little shit of, like you said, you didn't know you were gonna have music until an hour before.
Yeah.
You know, like you had people canceling last minute. Like that's shit that people don't realize.
Yeah.
And you still came out and did your thing, man. So I just want to say kudos to you on that.
Yeah, it is a headache.
Yeah.
If you have anxiety or get mad easily, don't ever fucking book a show. Don't.
All right, so you've done it once. Would you do it again?
Yes.
Yeah,
I would definitely do it again. Definitely do it again.
It's a chaos sometimes, and I think maybe that a little bit, huh?
I really feel like we can do this, dude. We can do Fight for the Heart too.
Yeah,
we can do it.
Like, you know what? I'm gonna say this now. I guarantee you, if Fight for the Heart 2 happens, your main event will be one of two things, and I don't give a flying fuck if this is me riding my own coattails or, you know, pushing myself because I'm the promoter. One of two things happens. It'll either be Mike Peyton versus Tyler Andrews after I need him in the face at the last show, or the guy that lost, even though I try to help him, Mike Peyton versus Chris Gage, will be the one of the main events. Guaranteed.
Word. Good shit. I like it. We're calling our shot already.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So before we put a bow on this, tell everybody again, you got a show coming up Saturday. Any other things you got coming up? Go ahead and plug your socials again. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Well, this Saturday, come on out, Mayfield, Pennsylvania. It's all over my social media. I post my posters once a day. Even though it annoys the crap out of some people, I don't care. It gets the show out there that I'm going to be at. High Ground Pro Wrestling's May the 4th. May wrestling be with you. Tongue twister. You could find me on Instagram at Real Mike Peyton. You can find me on Facebook, Mike Peyton. I just started a TikTok as well. Same thing. Real Mike Peyton is where you can find me. Not that hard. And again, this Saturday, be there. Witness a pinata die and probably maniacal glee leave. Thank God. But, and again, just keep an eye on my socials. Hopefully we get that street fight with me and Soba. Hopefully. And after talking here, I might start to see who I can connect with to make Fight for the Heart 2 happen.
Let's do it, bro.
Let's get it. Yep. I mean, we're all, once again, we'll make it happen.
Trust me, I'm Mamba mentality, my friend. Mamba mentality. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and I'm shooting my shot every single time.
Fucking time.
I ain't scared. We can make it happen.
It's possible. It's gonna be possible.
But yeah, that was
the mind behind the revolution, Mike Peyton. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And I know that you have some stuff going on. Shout out Pam. We know you're watching. We love you. Thank you guys for supporting us and coming on. And
give some love to Pam, my mom. She's currently in the hospital battling with some stuff.
Yeah. We love her. She's amazing. She's one of our very first followers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's been following us from day one. Very supportive. She actually won our Royal Rumble raffle, where she got a signed copy of Gary Wolf's book, Pitbull Unleashed.
That's awesome.
I stole that, and I stole that, and currently reading it, by the way.
Yeah, she owns a Brother Discussion podcast T-shirt.
Yeah.
So she's levels. She's levels beyond most of our followers. So shout out Pam.
Yep.
Get well soon. We really hope you do get well soon.
Yes.
And moving forward, Mike, we're gonna talk quite a bit. We can get some stuff moving. We can get some stuff in motion. This excites me.
Yeah. Check out our boy Mike, man. He's a manager, wrestler, promoter, whatever the fuck you need, man. Anything pro wrestling, hit our boy up, all right?
Graphics. Nobody hits me up for graphics. I do that too.
Three Legacies. Three Legacies. Book him. Battleground. Book him. He's out here. He's ready.
Let's get it.
Timothy Embler, call this man.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly right.
I know. Get the show going to Philly. Get our boy on the show.
Get our
Let's
boy.
make that happen.
For sure.
2,300. Let's go.
We're trying to make that happen. All right, everybody.
Fun fact about that, actually, before we go.
Oh, let's hear it.
I was in Battleground at one point.
Really?
Yes. If you look, I'm sure you look up Superfan Cody. That was me.
Okay.
Shit. All right. We're gonna look it up. We've been to every
show.
Every show.
I think almost every.
You want a street fight? We need to get you with Drake Younger.
Yo.
Oh, you want a match? It needs to be with Drake Younger. That would be a hell of a match.
Fucking what's his name?
Nick Gage.
Nick Gage.
Oh yeah, great. Yeah. So
yeah, there you go.
Guy, I guess. Thanks.
To be legit.
we actually want you to live. So
yeah.
I don't think you're with Nick Gage.
Sure.
Yeah.
If we get that interview with him, though.
If I get the interview with Nick Gage,
we're gonna name drop you.
I'm gonna name drop the fuck out of you.
Hell yeah,
I'm working on that right now.
Great.
All right, guys. BOD podcast signing off.
BOD.
Thank you again, Mike.
Let's go. Thanks.